everybody. I'm with the beautiful Amy.
Oh, hello, beautiful Karen.
Beautiful Amy.
Oh.
Well, we've just been watching this video. The Cartier family, nice sub they've got. They put this video out, but they copied this bit about Trump, which we're going to listen to. Just for that bit, what he's saying, I want to go for that bit.
Yes.
I don't trust him as far as I can look at his orange face. But what he says in this bit of video is exactly what most people want to hear.
I know.
Yeah, carry on.
Oh, I was just going to say, I was listening to it last night, and then my sister wanted to hear it too, and yeah, I couldn't believe it.
What do you make of that, Amy?
Really good stuff. I just hope, I would hope that it was true, that, he sounds like he's coming in and really going to make some changes.
But just remember, his friend Biden, in the same party as him, orchestrated it or passed a lot of it when he was in.
Yeah, it just really, it was refreshing to hear, and I think people have a good heart, and they want things to change for the better, and so I wish it would be really true. That's what I found myself thinking.
But then he's only unpicking what his friend Biden did.
Yes, that was strange, yeah. I guess he was trying to say how different that he's going to be.
But he is orange as well, and I look at that and I just don't think it's a real person on that video. I think it's a composite thing.
I thought the same thing, and I told Mandy, I said, uh-oh, this doesn't really look so right, and I was going to send it to you, and then I just didn't. But
maybe what it is I was telling someone about my gallstone problem, and it made me orange. Maybe he's got a real gallstone problem.
Yeah, you never know.
Because my face went orange and my eyes went orange, and he's orange. But the orange bit is because they can put anybody they want underneath.
Yeah.
Because it's not real, or they see, when they do, someone's talking it, and then the cartoon says it. That's what's going on. What's that?
Yes.
Is that deep? It's sort of like deep fake, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what that looks like.
Yes, that's what I thought too.
He just does when his mouth. His mouth is always doing the same. He just does the same thing. And he's too orange for me.
Yeah, but when you hear these good speeches, you wish that it was true. But then you see,
say it was real, and then you heard him say that, you'd be well happy.
I know.
It's not that I have anything against anybody or what anybody wants to be.
Right.
It's not about that. Anybody can be who they want to be. But it got a bit weird, didn't it?
It did.
Well, we're going the other way now, Amy.
Yes.
Whether you like it or not.
Pardon?
I said, whether you like it or not, you're going the other way.
Whether you like it or not, that's right.
Yeah. Shall we go on and see what else is on this video?
Oh, yes.
Here's my plan to stop the chemical, physical, and emotional mutilation of our youth. On day one, I will revoke Joe Biden's cruel policies on so-called gender-affirming care. Ridiculous. A process that includes giving kids puberty blockers, mutating their physical appearance, and ultimately performing surgery on minor children. Can you believe this? I will sign a new executive order instructing every federal agency to cease all programs that promote the concept of sex and gender transition at any age. I will then ask Congress to permanently stop federal taxpayer dollars from being used to promote or pay for these procedures and pass a law prohibiting child sexual mutilation in all 50 states. It'll go very quickly. I will declare that any hospital or healthcare provider that participates in the chemical or physical mutilation of minor youth will no longer meet federal health and safety standards for Medicaid and Medicare and will be terminated from the program immediately. Furthermore, I will support the creation of a private right of action for victims to sue doctors who have unforgivably performed these procedures on minor children. The Department of Justice will investigate Big Pharma and the big hospital networks to determine whether they have deliberately covered up horrific long-term side effects of sex transitions in order to get rich at the expense of vulnerable patients, in this case, very vulnerable. We will also investigate whether Big Pharma or others have illegally marketed hormones and puberty blockers which are in no way licensed or approved for this use. My Department of Education will inform states and school districts that if any teacher or school official suggests to a child that they could be trapped in the wrong body, they will be faced with severe consequences, including potential civil rights violations for sex discrimination.
Wow.
That don't sound bad.
I don't think any of that
Sounds
sounds too
great.
bad.
Well, Amy, I really don't mean to say this because he's orange and I've told you what I think. He's a Roman just like them. But when you hear the next bit of video, I want to say he's my hero.
Oh, I know. That's how
Oh
I
my
felt
God,
too
the
when I.
things that he's saying. So one of the people actually says it's a bit like we've had a Hitler regime and it's being removed by him.
Yeah, that's how it feels.
The things
really
he's talking about,
does.
getting rid of bogus press, getting rid of people who have sort of, well, they've got into all these powerful jobs and they're bogus. Anybody who's bogus is going.
Yes, I love that.
And did you notice he actually said those actors in, and I thought, yeah, but he really means that. He's talking about the actors.
Yes, that's right.
Is this, what it is it might be that he brings the change, but he's still a Roman.
That could be.
If he is a free man, and this really is going to happen, and he gets rid of the Romans, I'm all for him. But
Me
him
too.
and Biden are in the same party, so Biden's a friend of his.
Oh, I know. It's just, you want to believe that he's going to make these changes and that he's for real. But how can we really trust it? We'll have to see what happens.
We can't, because he's in that. Anyway, but do you remember we did the bit when he's talking about beheadings, and so he's talking about that, and in those other ones before the election, he was talking about bringing back live executions, beheadings, electrocutions, whatever it was, and now we've got to watch them on the television. I mean, that doesn't sound like a peaceful man. But what he's just said on this video, I was thinking, oh my God, yes!
That's how I felt too. I know. But then I was thinking about all that what you just said, and it's like, oh, where is this really going?
It'd be interesting to see if he gets a different seal, because don't forget he's going forward with the eagle. So I wonder. I mean, not that you can see it in here, but I wonder if there's any eagles in all this stuff that is behind him.
Oh yes.
He has got a ship on the water there behind him. You know, an old galleon's behind him in a picture, and the flags. I can't see anything else.
Right.
But when he turns sideways, like when you've got a few sideways shots of him, he looks like a computer composite. It doesn't look real.
That's what I thought too.
You know, he's got dark eyes.
Yeah.
Even from this distance, I'm looking at his face, you should be able to see he's got blue eyes.
Right.
Yeah, but anyway, they're dark.
Yeah,
And he's
so
very
that's
orange.
not. Yeah.
And what
so...
it is when you look at him sideways, I'm just going to blow this bit up, Amy, so you know what I mean when we get there, but let's just blow it up.
Yeah.
He's got rings round his eyes.
Oh well.
He's got white rings round his eyes, like it's a bit like he's the black and white minstrel shows, except he's the orange and white minstrel show.
No,
He's
right.
got a white ring round his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I find that I just anyway. But you know, if you actually just take the speech, wow, it's like I want to go here, yes, more.
Yeah.
But we don't want it to. Well, that's what I think we're in anyway. But he could be just right. We'll get him in, and then he's going to do all the changes.
Yeah,
We
that's
still
what
won't
I.
be better off, even though he says all that. We won't be any better off.
Oh, I know.
We'll just be everything will be changed. So we were going this way, and he's going to make us go that way. And this is what we find in history, isn't it?
Yes.
You don't understand how
It
we're going
is.
that way, and then that happened, and it's just hard to fit it. Well, this is what they do. They just go left, then they go right, then they go left, and then they go right. I don't know.
Yeah.
And they all work
That's
for the
what
same person, so
right. It could just be part of the show.
it's all part
know.
of the show.
Yes.
But
I really
it
like
would be lovely if it was real. But anyway, should we
Yes.
hear what he's got to say?
Yes. Great idea.
Make America great again.
Y'all let me know, out of all these clips that come from Trump from now until when he's in office, which one of them sound like Hitler?
No, I don't sound
Here's
like
my
that.
plan to dismantle the deep state and reclaim our democracy from Washington corruption once and for all. And corruption it is. First, I will immediately reissue my 2020 executive order restoring the president's authority to remove rogue bureaucrats, and I will wield that power very aggressively. Second, we will clean out all of the corrupt actors in our national security and intelligence apparatus, and there are plenty of them. The departments and agencies that have been weaponized will be completely overhauled so that faceless bureaucrats will never again be able to target and persecute conservatives, Christians, or the left's political enemies, which they're doing now at a level that nobody can believe even possible.
Wow.
Third, we will totally reform FISA courts, which are so corrupt that the judges seemingly do not care when they are lied to in warrant applications. So many judges have seen so many applications that they know were wrong, or at least they must have known. They do nothing about it. They're lied to. Fourth, to expose the hoaxes and abuses of power that have been tearing our country apart, we will establish a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to declassify and publish all documents on deep state spying, censorship, and corruption. And there are plenty of them.
Wow.
Fifth, we will launch a major crackdown on government leakers who collude with the fake news to deliberately weave false narratives and to subvert our government and our democracy. When possible, we will press criminal charges. Sixth, we will make every Inspector General's office independent and physically separated from the departments they oversee so they do not become the protectors of the deep state. Seventh, I will ask Congress to establish an independent auditing system to continually monitor our intelligence agencies to ensure they are not spying on our citizens or running disinformation campaigns against the American people, or that they are not spying on someone's campaign like they spied on my campaign.
They sound like.
Eighth, we will
Very-
continue the effort launched by the Trump administration to move parts of the sprawling federal bureaucracy to new locations outside the Washington swamp. Just as I moved the Bureau of Land Management to Colorado, as many as 100,000 government positions could be moved out, and I mean immediately, of Washington to places filled with patriots who love America, and they really do love America. Ninth, I will work to ban federal bureaucrats from taking jobs at the companies they deal with and that they regulate. So they deal with these companies and they regulate these companies, and then they want to take jobs from these companies. Doesn't work that way. Such a public display cannot go on, and it's taking place all the time, like with Big Pharma. Finally, I will push a constitutional amendment to impose term limits on members of Congress. This is how I will shatter the deep state and restore government that is controlled by the people and for the people. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Wow.
Damn.
That sounds like a good plan. I definitely am excited for the future under Trump if that's
Well, we've listened a little bit to this video because Trump saying, and around Trump, people are saying slightly different things here about immigration and that the immigrants won't be getting their money and all this kind of stuff. And we used a few minutes of his video because obviously he's just looking at some of the footage of Trump and what they're saying. Well, that guy saying the whole family will get deported.
Yes.
I don't know, and then he was talking about the wall, and then it carried on, but we can't. Well, we just took a couple of minutes of his video, but it seems that everything is going the other way.
Oh, it really does.
I just wanted to add, you know, in the last bit of footage with Trump, when he's talking about the fake news, but he's on the television and they're showing him.
But that's right.
You know, he's not being censored, really. Is he being censored?
I guess not. Now, in 2016, he felt that he was being censored, and he kind of came up with that fake news. He was always saying everything was fake news.
His ear thing was fake.
Yeah, right.
I found that embarrassing because I saw it, you did, when you watched it the first time, you said, there's no blood there.
Yes.
And then you convinced yourself because he got this big bandage, and then other footage might have shown him with a slightly bloodied ear, but they weren't showing the whole video. And then when you see the whole video, I knew it! I knew there was no blood!
Right.
And then he had to have that whole thing about them with those big bandages around their ears and all that. And you see, it's still the same character.
Yes, it is.
I don't trust him, but what a shame, because... But then once you start looking at this stuff, you start realising he has said masses. We've done the bit where he actually, on the other hand, he wants you to see live executions. On the other hand, it's going to be affecting the wall and immigrants. On the other hand, he's going to deal with the whole system. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what he said back in 2016.
Oh, and he said he'd get Hillary, and he never did. But
yes,
what he
exactly.
fails to tell people is that she is his cousin.
Oh, right.
And actually, sometimes I think that she played him.
I know. I remember
found that picture. Oh, God. Anyway.
Yeah, so we just don't know what to make of all of it. It sounds really good, but we don't know that any of it's going to happen or if it's true.
Well, it probably isn't going to happen, because don't forget the Labour Party had all these wishes. Remember the woman who had to put thermal clothes on because she couldn't put her heating on. Right, we're in now. We're cutting all the grants for all the poor people who are wearing thermal clothes. Now they're not going to get any heating at all. They'll have to stay in their thermal clothes all day. We've done a very good job.
That's so terrible that they would do
I told
that.
you, one of the teachers at the school mentioned how terrible the Labour Party were, and I said, well, he was never going to save you.
Right.
I put that video out weeks before showing that he was chief executive of, and he prosecuted those poor post office people who were telling the truth about it was nothing to do with them, it was the system, and he still prosecuted them. Some of them killed themselves because they couldn't cope with it all, and he now is Prime Minister. And not just that, with the Jimmy Savile case, he was the chief prosecutor who didn't know for about 9 years that they weren't prosecuting him.
Oh, wow.
He dropped his case, and he didn't know. And I put in my video, and you want him to be your Prime Minister?
Yes.
Yes, because if everybody's known the truth about Tony Blair, no one would have voted for him either.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, dirty old man.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, so you can't trust any of them. If they're playing in the Roman arena, they're Romans.
Right.
But we're going to have to watch and see, because if he does some of the things, not all of them, because some of them look good, but do you want to watch executions every day?
No way.
Oh my God, all that. And there's other things he wants to do. You know, they only show you a couple of moments of him talking. You have to listen to the hour and a half he talks. And it's like in Code. Have you noticed it? The actors in that. And you think, yeah, I understand it. But you know, everything means something. So he's pointing at this, he's pointing. You can't always get it all. It's too much. That speech is quite. Well, anyway, but then the other guy comes on and sees that, well, it's not, maybe it's not good because wants to deport, but we've all noticed a rise of different people here. It can't keep going on. They're not talking about our economies or anything, although people coming with nothing bolster the economy. So that's one reason why they might be letting them in. But you know, in one sense, they've gone on about the economy and we can't afford this and we can't do that. And the next thing is, especially for us now, we're not in the EU, more people are here now than ever.
Oh, yes.
And they're building loads of housing estates for people. I don't know, I don't mean to be horrible, because in a way, I'm an immigrant, you're an immigrant, but surely there has to come this bit where you can't have so many people coming in.
Right. And he doesn't want them to come illegally. You know, you have to do it the proper way, because we have too many coming in illegally, and then they give them all the benefits.
I don't mean to be horrible, but a lot of them take our jobs.
Yeah, and the health care. And when my father was sick, one of his home care nurses was saying that she has witnessed where the illegals get everything, and she knew that for a fact because she saw it herself. And she said it was terrible because there were services that my father could get when he had worked 7 days a week for 55 years, but he couldn't get certain services. They see coming here
as a good thing. They see it as a prosperous thing. I know people who are doing it or have done it and are living here and have got good lives.
Right.
I live in a much smaller house than they do.
Yeah.
They're lovely. I've met and made some lovely friends, but what, you know, I mean, maybe what it is English people like being on the dole and don't want to work. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's nice if they come in and, you know, but do it the right way and don't sneak in and come in the right way. And they are hardworking, but it's
you know,
not
when you look at your bloodline, we're all immigrants. We've always been moving around.
That's true.
You know, when you ever talk to someone, they say, maybe there are these people, but let's just say that I'm pure English. But actually, no, my dad was English and my grandma was my mother was Polish, or my mum was German, my dad was whatever, French. For me, it's that bit for me and a bit of Jewish, you know. So everybody, I've got Greek in me. Oh, I've got French in me. Oh, I've got Italian in me. You've got Italian in you.
Yes, I do.
And British.
Yes.
Amy's more British than me, so we're all immigrants. But, you know, all they've gone on and on about is the economy. Then we get shut down and no one mentions the economy. I see lots of businesses going.
Oh, I know.
People struggling. Even the company I work for at the school, it's all struggling. I think we're in a bit of a recession and no one's talking about it.
I know.
Except, for instance, they've taken that grant away from the old people. Imagine. But, I mean, how much money do they need? We've already done the one about council tax scams. So all that is a scam. It's not legally binding. They're lying and they're taking that money. I mean, how much money from us do they want?
Oh, I know. It's insane. Take all this money and we don't even know where it's going.
Anybody, but I just think when it's a bit like the floodgates are open and millions are coming, and you think, well, how can we support all that?
That's right.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, I don't mean to sound rude or anything like that, but I just thought that, well, we just played a bit of his video, and that's obviously he's got an opinion. I think his opinion is, well, if you think about the money we got, and we're 10 years on, they're getting the same money that we got.
Exactly.
But it is a bit like, you know, when you join a service, and they say you get the first 6 months off, and then your bill will only be that, and only when you get to be a year does the bill go up. That's what it's like living in the country. There's nothing really for you, but the people coming in get money.
I know.
They advertise, please come to our country. We'll give you education, medication, whatever it is.
Yeah.
a house,
Right.
benefit money, get a job.
Yes.
The only difference is a lot of immigrant people do work, whereas the people actually in the country are more lazy.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Maybe they're offered the promised land.
Yeah,
Mm.
probably so. But we have to look after our own people. We can't just constantly be looking out for, if you know what I mean.
But
You
you've
have
only
to.
taken their word for it. All these people are coming as well. You don't know if they really are. I mean, obviously there are, but you don't know if it's as many as you think it is. But you feel it is.
Right.
You know, I'm starting to go to. You know, when I was with Mickey, we went to his park. I couldn't hear anybody speaking English.
Oh, really?
Ah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we have a lot of different ethnicities here as well. But we were always called the melting pot here in
What's
America.
that?
Well, because we have all these different ethnicities and people from all other countries, and they just kind of come and all live together. So we're just one big
Well, I
melting
think we've
pot.
come from a peaceful background to start with, and then the Romans have come back again and ruined it all, and created this horrible mess we're in now. But
Yes,
we've always been peaceful. I think we're peaceful people,
I think so too.
but we don't want the Romans anymore. Well,
That's
whatever they
right.
want to call themselves. Do you know what? I've got a video waiting to go out. We'll have to get on with the video in a moment, Amy. But basically, what it was is that I put in, is Charles an emperor? And it said he isn't, but he is king of an empire. And I thought, there you go again. If you're not included in this Roman thing that's been going on for centuries, or even the Biaza, whatever it is, they're all part, if they're called empire, and you're a different society, different people, different way, you're not going to use the same words.
Right.
So when they say empire, you know what they're talking about, the Romans.
That's right.
So Charles should be king, he should be an emperor because he's got so many countries. He should be an emperor. And there's another one. What happens if Charles was emperor of Europe? Oh my God. Yeah. So you've got all that system. I just see that they're all part of it. But I would love it. Well, I don't know, see, because there's the other bits with Trump aren't that good. So I don't know. I can't. The first bit, he could be my hero, but the second bit, I don't know. There's too many things in there. What, he's going to save the country? You're going to go click and it's saved or something.
Oh, I know. Well, he'll have to pass bills, and they have to go through Congress. But the Congress is all dominated by the Republicans, so he should be able to get his bills through.
Yeah, this time. But we'll have to watch that space on it. But we're going to play this last bit of video because this is what this person feels. But we've just taken a few minutes. Please go over to his channel and watch the rest. Like the first one, go over to their channel and watch the whole hangout if you want to. But anyway, you got anything else to say, Amy?
Oh, I think that's all. It's very interesting, and we'll just have to see what happens.
He's a Roman.
Yes.
Anyway, let's put the rest of the video on, shall we, Amy?
Oh, okay, Karen.
Trump is he's coming out with some plans. This is the time where you can say elections have consequences. Yeah, based? Yeah, I mean, obviously this is what's going to happen, right? But here we go. Let's take a look at it.
As part of my plan to secure the border on day one of my new term in office, I will sign an executive order making clear to federal agencies that under the correct interpretation of the law, going forward, the future children of illegal aliens will not receive automatic U.S. citizenship. It's things like this that bring millions of people to our country, and they enter our country illegally. As part of my plan to
So you have this one, and it goes even farther.
We have seen one estimate that says it would cost $88 billion to deport 1 million people a year.
I don't know if that's accurate or not.
Is that what American taxpayers should expect?
What price do you put on national security? Is that worth it?
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
We are in for a wild ride. Yeah, he's not wrong. Yeah, no, he's not wrong. Wow. Send him home? Yeah, content for days? No, this is going to be a crazy fucking 4 years, man. Here's another one.
News, the mayor just announced that the city will no longer issue vouchers to migrants to pay for food, ending a controversial program that had repeatedly come under attack by conservatives and others.
This pilot program in New York City, drenched in both humanity and controversy, distributed debit cards to migrant families staying in city-funded hotels and allowing them to buy their own food. Eyewitness News reporter Josh Einier following the breaking news for us. Josh?
Well, Bill, it's a program that, as you say, generated plenty of controversy, but now its absence may raise even more questions. The so-called Immediate Response Cards pilot program was designed to help feed migrant families who'd found themselves in New York with no way to afford food. The one-year contract provided what the city described as culturally relevant food to 2,600 migrant families, allowing them to basically buy what they wanted.
Yep.
A family of four with two kids under 5 got about $350 per week to cover food in a program the city said would actually save taxpayers millions a year. It also reduced food waste. You may remember the food the city had been providing in migrant shelters was seen as not culturally sensitive to the needs of some migrant groups, and it ended up just going to waste. For more than a year, the city was groaning under the weight of more than 200,000 asylum seekers. Officials say the migrant population has actually reduced lately. In fact, a massive shelter on Roosevelt Island is in the process of closing. In the meantime, Mayor Adams
Did it say $350 a week? My mom used to get $200 a month on food stamps. Obviously, this was the year 2011 or 12. A bit different prices then, but that was what we used to get.
On the phone yesterday with President-elect Donald
I got like
Trump,
160.
who had vowed during his campaign to mass deport migrants. Aside from congratulating him on his win, though, Adams today would not say what they discussed.
Yep, there it is. And so you're seeing, obviously, this is getting shut down. And, man.
Here's my plan to dismantle the deep state and reclaim our democracy from Washington corruption once and for all. And corruption it is.
And the thing is that I think that a lot of conservatives don't really want to say, and this is what's happening, right, is that this is kind of the entire, like, understanding of what an Overton window is that it's like the idea of like things that are acceptable to be stated in public and not be immediately like repudiated for. The idea that somebody can say that how do you deal with?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
This would be probably unthinkable to say 10 years ago. And now, oh boy.
Well, after watching all that, well, it's quite amazing the amount of stuff that got said in that video, Amy.
Yes. Oh, it was.
I mean, at the beginning he wanted to say, there's a ray of sunshine. But when you hear the other bit, you think, oh, but you know it's not going to happen.
Oh, I know. I really wish it would.
And he's orange.
Right.
And sideways, he looks like a computer thing.
I know. Very disconcerting.
I know, but it's such a shame. Everybody wants a bit of an uplift, don't they? And everybody's fed up of the system we're in. So it kind of looks like you're being offered a different system, but he still wants corporal punishment live on television. So is that really getting rid of the system?
No, it's really not.
Floss, be quiet. If he flies eagles when he comes into power, he is just a continuance of the rings.
Right.
I mean, that's the sad bit, right? Because obviously you've got a big eagle as your sort of, that's how people might remember America. But on the other hand, when you go and look at the presidential seal, it's the same eagle that Russia has.
Yes, that's right.
It's set what it is the Russian at the moment under Putin is a double eagle, which means he is an emperor.
Yeah.
Because you don't fly double eagles unless you're an emperor.
Right.
And America's got a single eagle.
Yeah.
And anyway, I'm sick of doing those videos showing that every frigging Greece, Germany, France, Holland, Belgium, Romania, oh, you name it. It just goes on and on. The amount of countries that have had or have eagles even today on their flags.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it shows what we're in.
If he flies an eagle on his presidential seal, then he's one of them. Because you wouldn't...
Yeah.
So if you're a new system, which is sort of offering at the beginning of the video, then he will change everything. And he'll have a different seal and everything. But he won't.
That's true.
We'll have to see what seal he gets.
Yeah.
Well, we know what seal he's going to get, Amy.
Yes. Unfortunately.
And then those illegals appear on the top of those things. They all have eagles. I never noticed those before, the eagles.
I know.
It's the Romans.
But now we see them everywhere. Yes, it is.
And the really sad thing is, as well as how they've depicted Hitler, when you actually went, well, we did it, didn't we? We went to the Olympics of 1936, and in a ceremony through the town, they're flying double eagles, and you wouldn't do that unless you were a Roman.
Right.
And as they were flying them around Hitler, it was his Berlin, the Olympics, he was there, Heil, Heil, and all that. He must have been an emperor.
Exactly.
Why is it that what they want to do is show all this history and fly all these flags, which means they're Romans? Why are they celebrating the Romans if they're a completely different system?
That's a great point.
And anyway, the Roman Empire changed to the British Empire.
Right.
But when you try to work it all out, especially like with the Ottoman Empire, that couldn't have been there at the same time that the English Empire was there.
Yes, that's true.
Oh, it's all just bananas, but
it is bananas.
Unfortunately, he's going to have an eagle seal. But let's wait, because when that happens, when we realise what his seal is, Amy, we'll have another on this one. We'll have another little video to because we can see which one it is, and I can go, oh, well, I told you it was going to be an eagle, or oh my God, Amy, it's a different seal.
Oh, no, I wish that would be.
You cannot have an eagle.
Right. That would be the proof.
But he is.
Yeah.
But anyway, we wondered what everybody else's thoughts are. Because it would be wonderful, the first part of his speech, but I don't like a lot of the things that he's into. No.
I know.
The corporal punishment. I put that video out about a couple of months ago. Because it's like,
right.
We want peace and harmony.
Absolutely.
Once you this is the other thing that really annoys me, because Admiralty law, which is what we're all under, but usually the judge that you have isn't really supposed to be sitting in the court you're in. So most of the cases could be retried.
Right. But people don't really know about that, but we're trying to get that word out there.
So if you actually ask a judge what is their their oath, you might find that it's not for the court that you're sitting in, so they can't try you.
Right.
Imagine in this system how many court cases have been deemed wrong, even about people's lives.
Yes.
I mean, I actually find your legal bit really strange, and I saw it on a film the other day. So basically, this boy it was all by accident. he just wasn't quite looking where he was going, and he hit this motorbike guy, and it was horrible. It was pretty graphic, and it was horrible.
Oh, wow.
And then the guy ended up on the road, and he actually started ringing for an ambulance. The guy looked so bad. He's still alive, but he looks absolutely terrible. Then he decides not to call an ambulance and leave the scene. And I don't know how long it is, because I thought, I can't watch this. So I went to something else, and then I came back, flipping back. And then basically what it was is he said, Dad, I've got to tell you something. So I missed that part of the film, but then I got to that bit. And he said, I killed someone. And then at the end of that...
Was it called The Juror? Or no, Your Honor. I think it's called Your Honor.
I don't know what it was. Is when he said that to his dad, he said, because basically it makes him an accessory now.
Yes.
And so he had to call the police. So he basically got his son and he took him to the police station, and he went in because he thought, right, I'm going in first. Sit in the car, wait for me there. And he suddenly saw the mother of the person he'd killed. And he said it was like she was like a wife of one of the head mafia thing, and he knew that if his son had gone forward, then they would kill him. So it back to the car, and the guy's going, I need to go and report myself, Dad. And he says, get back in the car. We're not doing it, because that's what he is. Because obviously his dad realised, but I thought, oh no, and I carried on after that.
That was a good show. My daughter and I watched that. It was on Netflix, and we watched it.
What happened in the end then?
Oh my gosh! So, it goes crazy. All kind of things happens, and at the very end, oh my gosh, the boy ends up getting killed, and it just is a mess.
Oh my God, I'm glad I didn't watch the rest of it then, Amy.
He's not a judge anymore. All kind of crazy stuff happens.
Well, I thought that was a weird film. Lately, even with Jimbo, we watched these really weird films. And I think, wow, that was weird. But they grab you a bit because they're weird. Doesn't mean they're always horrible, but they're usually just very weird.
It was a series, actually, so it took a while for us to finish watching it. We finished it up sometime in the summer.
Well, I couldn't watch any more than I did, but those are the bits I caught. But anyway, he'd have to overhaul the court system.
Yes. Oh, it was so interesting.
It's not going to happen. He likes joining the dock on the ship, on the ship that's in dry dock. He likes all that.
Oh, okay.
But you know what, the guy with council tax, he said, all you people that try and do it through common law, it's just not going to work because the courts are not set up for common law, so it will just get dismissed. So what you have to do is you have to play them at their own game.
Right.
And then he said, and what you find out is they don't follow any of the rules that they make you follow. And they don't even have real courts. It's bogus what they're doing. Fraud, dishonesty, a con, disgusting.
It is.
And he's part of that.
Yes.
I wish he wasn't, because we'd love to have a hero, but we will watch this space, because if he suddenly got like a teddy bear seal or something, well, what would he have? What would you put in its place? What would he have? A Trump building?
Maybe so. Trump Towers or whatever that's called.
If he accepts that seal with the eagle on it, he's one of them.
Yeah.
We might have to wait a couple of months, but I reckon he's one of them.
Right. That'll be the telltale sign.
Yeah. His mouth looks a bit weird in the video as well at the moment. You have to wait and watch this bit if you do, Amy. But we're going to finish now, because, you know, just when you think, oh, the going is good, and I remember the other things, and you think, well, you can never believe it's real, ever, because it's not. I bet you the Labour... I didn't watch any of it, but I bet you the Labour Party did the same thing. We promise you this. We get in. Let's cut it all.
Oh, I know.
But, you know, I told you, didn't I? When Trump got in last time, the first thing he did was the water and the Indians. And you think, you had to do that one first? Because it's a bit like, You celebrate.
Right.
Oh, thank God, a different person's won. Maybe he's real after all. And the first
Yeah.
thing he does is the very last thing he should have done. And so
Exactly.
upset all the Indians. I was absolutely shocked. He hadn't even been in 24 hours and he was doing that. And I thought, he's not my hero now. How could you do that?
I know. I
Because when
know.
you realise how much land they really had, it was probably all their country anyway, and now they've got hardly anything. It's not surprising they're angry, to be honest.
Oh, I know. That's true.
But there are some rich Indians as well.
Yeah.
So this whole thing is bananas. It's all corrupt. I want them to go.
Me too.
Not even running us correctly.
That's right.
But anyway, Amy, we could go on forever. This bit's 12 minutes long, but
Okay.
it's so hard because, we just want something different now.
Yeah.
I find
we
it embarrassing,
really do.
Amy.
Oh, I know. Me too.
I'm like, I look at something sometimes and people believe it and I just think, oh my God. Well, I can see right through it.
Yes, that's right.
Well, I think everything we see on the news is that, but I suppose they try to capture you with something. Oh my God, we're fighting this country. They try and get you, and oh my God, then you get stuck into that. But
I know. Yeah, it's really hard.
we make a deal though. We see what seal he has, and then we'll see
Okay.
what video we make on that one.
Oh, that sounds great.
Teddy bear?
I hope so.
Maybe it's a
Something
helicopter.
like that. Yes.
The White House.
There you go.
Maybe it'll be just
That-
Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah, but well, I've enjoyed making this video, Amy, and thank you very much for helping me.
Too. Oh, you're welcome, Karen. Thank you.
Thank you, my sweetie.
You're welcome, sweetie.